Opinion POTUS. Trump is fluttering many a dovecote to his country's own detriment ever since his inauguration for a second term on January 20, 2025. President Donald Trump has been initiating dramatic and drastic measures both on the domestic and foreign fronts. First, he challenged the age-old citizenship law that conferred U.S. citizenship on anyone born in the country. His amendment said that principle of law, despite its hoary antiquity across the globe, would apply only to the children born to the U.S. citizens. That stopped what is known as birth tourism, much to the chagrin of the Democrats and resentment of Hispanics from Cuba and Mexico. And with the U.S. Supreme Court upholding this seminal amendment a few days ago, this has been his sole victory thus far in governance marked by cantankerousness. In a way, that was the first concrete measure towards ushering in America is for the Americans' fierce and triumphalist assertion. His much vaunted attempt to downsize the U.S. bureaucracy and federal spends under the newly created Department of Government Efficiency DOGE initiative by a massive $2 billion came almost unstuck after Elon Musk at its helm threw up his hands, apparently in exasperation, citing expiration of 130 days to actualize its mission, which BTW achieved only one thing: abolition of Department of Education. Musk perhaps realized that he had bitten more than he could chew, and that the nation after all needed a bare-bones bureaucracy like Inland Security, FDA, FBI, Federal Reserve, and so forth. That marked the break in the Trump-Musk bromance. Their fascination with cryptocurrencies, however, has dark portents, undermining the greenback, the only legal tender of the USA. Musk, a couple of years ago, wanted to accept Bitcoin in return for Tesla cars. The incipient move to usher in a dual currency regime was repelled by the Federal Reserve and other authorities on the legal and tenable ground that only the US dollar enjoys the legal tender status in the country. But the never-say-die spirit in Musk has revived the idea again, this time round for his new favorite cryptocurrency Dogecoin, which is being accepted for online sales of Tesla cars and for acquiring special privileges in the X social media platform, which, too, is owned by Musk, once again in the process thumbing his nose at the authorities. There are also reports of Trump administration winking at cryptocurrencies, which has no body to kick and no soul to damn, in order to give a leg up to the cryptocurrency being toyed with by his family under its World Liberty Financial WLF. Although pegged to the US dollar, its propping up has sent shockwaves in knowledgeable circles. How can the ruling dispensation marginalize the country's own legal tender, which holds sway as much within the country as abroad, is the refrain. Remember, cryptocurrencies have no sovereign guarantees, much less have underlying assets such as commodity currencies like the Australian dollar. Now let us shift focus to his conduct of international relations. He has made X, formerly Tweet, as his favorite medium of communication to leaders of India, Pakistan, Iran, and Israel. He announced ceasefire between India and Pakistan on X, and a few weeks down between Israel and Iran, more with view to seeking publicity among his domestic audience. Not satisfied with propping up and provoking Israel to strike Iran, he ordered his Air Force to drop bunker busters on 4 nuclear facilities in Iran with a view to defanging it, which by the way is a signatory to Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, and went on to rationalize it as being necessary to end the Israel-Iran standoff, just as it sought to end the Second World War by dropping atom bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki on 6 and August 9 respectively of 1945. Touché. Did he know the Holocaust vaporized some 2 lakh human bodies, leaving no mortal remains? It was as despicable as Hitler slaughtering some 6 million Jews in gas chambers. That the resultant moves to impeach him was stillborn doesn't make his jingoistic tendencies acceptable. In the course of all these, he ticked off his own intel director Tulsi Gabbard, who contradicted his claim that Iran was making nuclear bombs. Swipe left for next video. His tariff retaliation regime that kicked in on April 2, 2025, the so-called Liberation Day, has been chaotic, with more than 50 new or revised tariffs, pauses, backdowns, escalations and de-escalations in a clutter of confusion. Business owners and workers across the U.S. are reeling from the chaos and confusion unleashed by Trump's trade policy, which bears out the critics who averred that his ham-handedness would hurt the U.S. more. With just 2 trade frameworks inked and dozens to go before the July 9 deadline, that time frame appears increasingly unlikely to be adhered to. America's economy might be taking a turn for the worse as a result of this confrontationist approach to trade. If he wants to make America great again, he has to goad investments in import substituting activities and his workers to settle for more reasonable wages till the US catches up with the Asian giants. China, the master of reverse engineering, might give Musk's Tesla a run for its money with its extremely competitive electric cars. Protectionism is not the answer to the US's trade deficit problem. The writer is a senior columnist. His X account is Smerlet Haran. Views expressed in the above piece are personal and solely those of the author. They do not necessarily reflect News 18's views latest blogs.